So determine amplitude, period, and shifts, and then they do want us to graph it as well. Okay, so this one's got it all. Okay, so let's think about the amplitude. The amplitude is going to be 2, and it's going to reflect. So just remember it's going to reflect. It is a cosine curve also. Notice that. It's a cosine curve. And 2, what will the period be? The period's going to be 2 pi over the absolute value of b, which is going to be 2 pi over 2, which is going to be 4. Okay, so we've got the period, we've got the amplitude. Phase shift. It's c over b, and in this case c is negative pi, because it's got the addition sign, so it's negative pi over 2, which is going to equal negative 2. Okay, and then it also has a vertical shift. Let's put this in. Vertical shift, so we don't forget about it. It's going to go up 3. Okay, well, let's just do, we haven't done a cosine curve for a little while, so let's just draw a little cosine curve. Normally it happens at 2 pi. A normal period is 2 pi. So pi, cut that in half, and then it's going up 1 and down 1. Ooh, that's not very even. Okay, so a normal cosine curve starts up here at 0, 1, goes through that first critical point at 0, down to negative 1, back up to 0, back up to 1. So it looks, well, if I'd gone through that point, okay, something like that for one period, okay? So now we are going to take our cosine curve, our normal one, and do these transformations. First thing I would do is I would make sure I have the period established. So right here, the period is going out to 4. So let's go 4. I'm going to cut that in half, and that'll be 2. And then cut it in half, and cut it in half. That one's off a little bit. Okay. Now, amplitude. So it has an amplitude of 2, but it's also got a vertical shift up of 3. So we may have to extend our line here a little bit. Okay? So it's going to shift up 2. I'm sorry, it's going to have an amplitude of 2, and it's also going to reflect, and then we're going to have to shift the whole thing up 3. So I'm going to wait on the phase shift. I'm going to wait on these. Right now I'm going to graph y equals negative 2 cosine pi over 2x. Okay, so that will take care of the period, and I'm going to do the amplitude as well. So I'm going to be going up to, let's see, this is not going to be to scale, I don't think. I don't feel fit if I tried to. Okay, so normally I have a point here at 0, 1, but that's going to go down to negative 2. So I don't know what color to do it in. I'll do it in green. So I'm going to have that down there at 0, negative 2. Then my next critical point is at 1, but that's going to be at 0. 0 times negative 2 is still 0. Then the point that I would normally have at pi here is going to match to when I have 2. Now think about putting a 2 in there. Wouldn't that get you the cosine of pi, which is negative 1? And then negative 1 times negative 2 is going to be a positive 2. So you can go back to using, a table of values here. Okay. And then it's going to go through 0 here, and then it's going to go back down to negative 2 right there. Okay, that's the curve without any phase shift or vertical shift. Okay? Now we need to do a phase shift, and it has a phase shift of negative 2. Negative 2. So that means it's moving to the right 2 units. Oh, great. Or I'm sorry, did I say right? I meant left. I have to expand that a little bit. I don't get too fancy with these. I just do what it says to do. So, okay, and then we also have to shift the whole thing up 3. Okay, so I'm going to take this point that's right here, and I'm going to shift it back 2 to the left 2, and I'm going to go up 3, and it's going to make the point right there. Okay. Then I'm going to take this point at 1, 0, and I'm going to go left 2 and up 1, 2, and now I need another line there. So it would be right there. Okay, there. And then I'm going to take the point at 2, 2, go back 2, and shift up 1, and then I've got to go a little bit higher. I feel like it's off a little. 1, 2. So maybe it's up right about there. And then the point that was at 3, 0, go back 2 and up 1, 2, 3. And then the point that was at 4, negative 2, go left 2 and up 1, 2, 3. And it pretty much holds true there. So I just have to put the curve. Don't make it look like a V shape. Okay. And those don't really go that far. They're going to start like back down, or up, I guess. But that would be 1 period. Okay? And that is enough for that. They asked for the amplitude, period, phase shift, and we listed those. By the way, in the book, it says horizontal shift, but they meant a vertical shift. That was just a typo. Okay. There seems to be a little problem with my video capabilities here. Oh, there it was.